Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. I'm sure you know the old trope about how parents tell their children how hard they had it when they were children. It usually went something along the lines of having to walk several miles to school barefoot in the snow, carrying a baked potato to keep warm, and then to have for lunch, and it was uphill both ways. Well, since I grew up in South Carolina, that part about the snow was a little bit unbelievable, along with the uphill both ways part. At least until I went to Jerusalem. There, anywhere we went, it really did seem uphill both ways. This week we're exploring Psalms you should know that aren't numbered 23, and today we want to look at Psalm 121. It says, "I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where will my help come? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. He who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time on and forevermore." We haven't really talked about the fact that there are different kinds of psalms, and Psalm 121 is considered to be a song of ascents. What that means is that people sang it as they were on the way to the temple in Jerusalem. Jerusalem is built on several hills, and so to get there one had to ascend upward. So this was a psalm for the journey, but also one that prepared the singer for praising and for worshiping God when they got there. It speaks of the trust that God can sustain their journey of life and the journey that life is. In verse 1, the hills that are referred to are likely the hills of the Temple Mount itself. "I look to the hills," it says. "Where will my help come from?" "My help comes from the Lord," it answers. What a powerful affirmation of faith and trust. These are powerful and comforting words in the trials and turmoil of life's journey. They tell us that God is personally concerned for the lives of God's people. We are reminded that this is our temporary home. Our real home is with God. We are sojourners, on the way, on God's way. And God will watch over us and keep us. Our response is to trust. Martin Luther liked to use this psalm at baptisms and funerals, seeing it as a psalm for the journey of life. Many biblical scholars believe that this psalm was used almost like a responsive reading between the pilgrims on their way to worship and the priest at the temple. I encourage you to get out your Bibles and try it. Read the odd-numbered verses as if the priest were saying them, and the even-numbered verses as the answer of the people. It works. The early Christian church wasn't called the Christian church. It was called the Way. Even now, we are on God's way together. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.